Lifers and loved ones, welcome back to the channel. This is Biz, a Biz Lifestyle, and I know you see it. This is my blended watermelon juice vid, all right? I wanted to make my contribution using a blender, showing that you did not necessarily need an expensive juicer to do this. So we'll go through it together, all right? I hope everyone is doing well. Let's keep the love real and the energy high. You see my list up on the screen of what you'll need to get through this. Some of it is absolutely necessary and some is optional. Feel free to pause that and check it out and let me know. But you absolutely need a large seeded watermelon, all right? You want to get a seeded watermelon, and they are in season, so hopefully they're readily available at a grocer or store near you, all right? You see me tapping on that thing. This is the underbelly right here, right? You want that discoloring, and you want those scratches on there. The discoloring is a sign of sweetness as well as the scratches. That means that, you know, God's creatures were looking to get inside that thing. So you want that. You want to tap on it and make sure that it sounds kind of hollow on the inside. So that's a great indication of a good watermelon. All right, lady and gentlemen, boy and girl, here we just have a large mixing bowl. Pick that up at my local store as well. Small whisk. That'll come in handy later, and we'll go through that in just a moment. You'll also need a medium-sized strainer, at least not too small. The bigger the better, but you'll definitely need a strainer to get that pulp and whatnot out of there. And for me, I like to use some lime juice in mine to bring out that sweetness, so I grab some limes. Key limes are always preferred if you can get your hands on some, but if not, go ahead and grab yourself just some standard organic limes if you can get your hands on them from the store. And here I have just your standard kitchen blender, nothing particularly expensive. Again, I wanted to show that you could get this done and have an enjoyable experience with whatever you have. So let's make it happen, all right? I also picked up some glass jars for myself. I grabbed these at my local Sprouts Farmers Market, but you can find these anywhere. Just check your local store or even grab some online. And they don't necessarily need to be glass jars, whatever container. However, I do recommend glass just because watermelon tends to stain that juice. So yeah, glass works best. And then of course, you're going to need a fairly large, sharp knife to cut into that melon. So here, I'm just laying down a simple piece of plastic. This is completely optional, but I found throughout the process of doing this, it makes things more convenient, helps with cleanup. And again, that watermelon juice can tend to stain. So if you have, you know, a tablecloth or some plastic laying around, definitely feel free to use that and help yourself out. So you see me removing the label, and we're gonna dig right into this. So as we cut into it, some things that we're looking for, obviously you're going to notice it's a black seeded watermelon, and that's exactly what you want. This one is fairly large in size. As soon as I began to cut into that, you could already see the juice start to come out of it, and that's exactly what you want. So here you see we're just chopping this thing down, making it easier to work with. No particular order, no right or wrong way to do this per se. You just want to end up with smaller chunks. Also, for me personally, I wanted to come as close to the rind as possible to get all the nutrients and as to not let anything go to waste. But again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. And please, as we're in the process of doing that cutting, ensure that you're very safe, all right? Make sure that you're being safe and paying attention while you're doing this. Some of my cutting may seem a little unorthodox, but I'm extremely comfortable. No little ones around or anything like that. My knife is extremely sharp, but I am definitely being careful, so you be sure to do the same. So as you see, we pretty much have this thing broken down, and it's about that time to start creating the chunks that will go in the blender for our juice. But I also wanted to take this time to thank everyone for supporting the channel and watching the videos. I really do appreciate it. This is not my first time making watermelon juice, but I decided to record it. Been seeing a lot of videos lately and was inspired and motivated and wanted to show my version using a blender as opposed to a juicer so that everyone could get involved. This is my answer to store-bought juices, which I'm pretty much done with, to be honest with you. They're made from concentrate, processed and full of sugar, and not the best for us. And I find this watermelon juice to be absolutely refreshing, full of nutritional benefits, potassium. So definitely do check that out. And I find myself feeling a lot better drinking it. And again, I just feel better overall, and I enjoy it so much. Orange juice is my absolute favorite. I also love pineapple juice, so I'm venturing off into learning how to be able to make those at home for myself as well. You can buy these juices in the store, organic, but they can be pricey. And I consider this to be a labor of love, and it's so worth it. So if you have the time and an opportunity to do so, feel free to follow the vid. You know what I mean? Let me know if you have any questions or concerns as we continue to move forward. All right. So you see me in the mixing bowl, just creating my chunks. And these are what are going to go inside of the blender, which you'll see here in just a few moments. All right. And as you see, it is about that time. This is the reason for the season. We are loading up our blender with our watermelon chunks. I would say go about 3/4 of the way. That way, as it begins to liquefy, it does not overflow. Take it from me. Okay, watermelon is extremely soft, so therefore, with the blades, it blends very easy. No muss, no fuss. Straight to the point. So now it is time for the limes. Go ahead and roll that thing out on the counter. Any flat surface that you have, it just helps release the juice, and the juice is worth the squeeze, baby. All right. No particular recipe, just add it to taste. For me, I love that tangy flavor, and it tends to bring out the sweetness. Not to mention, lime has benefits as well as far as helping to release toxins from the body. So again, just add that to taste until your liking. Blend that up, and you're all set to go. I tend to always have some key limes or some limes laying around the house, just for overall flavoring and different purposes. Grab that handy dandy strainer and any, fairly large size mixing bowl. This is where we're going to go ahead and strain the blend and to remove all the ground up seeds and pulp from the juice. You may catch a little bit in there, but nothing that you'll notice. In this strainer, I tend to have a little bit of pulp in my juice, which I enjoy. I have no problem with. So yeah, it just depends on the strainer and the method that you use. But you see me whisking as I pour the juice in, and that's just to allow, the juice to be released into the bottom of the bowl. And then the strainer will catch all my pulp and whatnot. So as we proceed, we just continue to whisk that juice in a circular motion, just to get that to be released. In just a few moments on the camera, you'll see what is left behind in the strainer. And this is the start of our first batch of homemade, fresh blended watermelon juice. All right, here we go. Let's run it back, rinse and repeat. Fill up your canister about 3/4 of the way, and it's up. So yeah, in this batch, it looks like it got caught in the blades a little bit, and sometimes it'll fight you. That's okay. No need to fret. If you have a stir or a wooden spoon or something like that handy, you can go ahead and mix that thing up to speed up the process. I chose to just release the canister and give it a little bit of shake, but eventually it'll come loose and it's all good. We in there. So here, as we continue to go forward, you can see me adding more lime juice to this batch, squeezing that thing in there. Makes it taste so much better. So much more refreshing. I enjoy it. Sometimes I'll use it, sometimes I won't. It depends. But as you'll find at the end of the video, I'm gonna have a few different flavors, but we'll jump into that. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So yeah, sometimes I use it, sometimes not. But again, it's completely optional. But definitely give it a try and see if it brings out the flavors in the juice in a way that you like. And once again, we are back to our strainer, and it is all in the flick of the wrist. Go ahead and continue that circular motion in order to release those ground up seeds and the pulp. As you can see in the bowl, the yield is becoming greater. That's one of the most rewarding parts for me, is to see, you know what I mean, how much of a yield that we have as you begin to fill up your jars or containers, which you're going to see that in just a few moments. All right. So yeah, that's one of the best parts for me. And I find this to be so relaxing and rewarding. Like I got a podcast or an audio book or something playing in the background, and I'm just here vibing, like really enjoying the process of it. So on to the fun part. We are filling up our first jar, and as much as I was trying not to make a mess, you see that watermelon juice spilled on the counter anyway, but all is well. It's coated so it won't stain or anything, but I'm gonna get that up really quickly. So yeah, we are filling up our first jar. I don't remember exactly how many cups is it, but it's a few cups, but it's a very large jar, as you can see, to scale. And this is just the first one, and we're just about full with that. And because I tend to clean up as I'm cooking or making anything, it just helps. So that way when you're done, you don't have a complete mess in your kitchen to clean up. So it's all good. But yeah, we proceed on. More batches to come. We just rinse and repeat. Fill up that canister and blend. So as we continue to blend, we'll go ahead and add that lime juice, of course, to taste. I want to say the process, we're halfway through. Probably took about just over an hour from start to finish, and you're not necessarily seeing it on the camera, but behind the scenes I'm definitely cleaning as I go, removing trash and getting stuff out the way, washing up my dishes just to make sure that the kitchen is nice and tidy when I'm done. But yeah, so last yield to strainer from the canister, as always, you know, getting that extra pulp and those seeds out, and we in the zone now, baby. We just going through the process. We're just about done. And again, I'm enjoying myself for real. I'm just here vibing with y'all. We vibe. Yes, y'all. And we filled that thing up to the tippy top. Once I saw that, I was super excited. Little things in life make me happy. So, you know, I was juiced about that. And once you have something like this on hand, man, it's hard to go back. Obviously, it's about progress and not perfection. But I want to try to step away from the store-bought juices as much as possible and implement this into my weekly routine when it comes to food prep and things of that nature, just for my overall wellness. And you see, I broke out the chia seeds. So these were optional on my list. Again, not necessarily for everyone, but I'm going to make a small jar here with just some the lime juice and the chia seed, which when the chia seed is added to liquid, it opens up and gets that gelatinous texture. Chia seed is great for the digestion, a lot of minerals and good stuff in there as well. A protein element to it, but really just more for hydration and for your digestion. You want to make sure that you can put them in something liquid so that they open up. Otherwise, your body will just pass them. So I like to add them to water. I'll add chia seeds to sauces, to my post-workout smoothie. And again, it just helps with hydration, and I do enjoy that. So give it a try if you're not familiar or if you haven't, and see if you like it. So here we just create more chunks, keeping the process going. And at this point, I could be listening to music, brainstorming. I could even be on the phone, but not thinking about time constraints at all. I'm just in my zone and enjoying myself, enjoying the process, man, having such a good time with it. And yeah, hope you'll do the same. And let's continue moving forward. So I mentioned my post-workout smoothie in the last voiceover clip. I'll be sure to leave a link to that in the description box below, as well as some other Homage information as it relates to the video. But we'll continue to proceed on. What we're doing here is just finishing up creating our last chunks that'll go in the canister. And this is the end of the watermelon, so we are rapidly approaching the end, and we're almost there, and I'm excited for you all to see the final yield. So as you'll see here, had to grab myself a bowl. I wanted to save some of the watermelon just for us to snack on it. So pro tip, if you've ever tried this, cold, icy cold watermelon chunks in the summertime. I'm in Vegas, so it's get hot out that thing, baby. Okay, cold watermelon chunks, lime juice, and grab some of that tahini. It's a game changer. Cools you down, super refreshing, and fruit is nature's candy. So when I'm going into the office, I like to pack some of this up and take it, as opposed to hitting a vending machine or getting some sugary from time to time when I'm trying to be somewhat responsible. That's a go-to snack for me. So give that a try. And we will continue on with our blending. We have approached the end of the watermelon. So yeah, just blending that thing. And again, sometimes in the canister it gets stuck. I got my gloves on. We keeping it sanitary. So you see me reach in there just to agitate that around a little bit. Add my lime juice to taste, as always. And then we'll begin straining. Okay. So you saw us come through with the Big Daddy, and then you seen a little thing. Now we pulling up with the medium-sized jar. So as you can already tell, that was a very large watermelon, and the yield was crazy on this. So saw that in the store, smacked that belly, seen those scratches, like, yeah, I need that. Let me get that. We taking that back to the house. So excited about that. And this is the final canister of the watermelon. So yeah, we continue on. We're about to begin that straining process. As you all may have already noticed, took a few of these clips and decided to speed those up as not to hold you all too long. But continue watching, and I'll be back in a few moments. So the sun is shining brightly through the windows in the kitchen, and all is right in the world. Has something special in mind for that medium jar. You see it, 100% ginger juice packet. I grabbed these at my local Trader Joe's. They come in a box of about 10 or 12. I like to keep these on hand, and I wanted to add this to the medium jar just for variation. But fun fact, ginger is great for cleansing and detoxing, but it's also great for like a nauseous, sour, or upset stomach. So I like to keep this around. So went ahead and added this to the jar, and here is our final yield. I even ended up having to grab an extra jar just to hold all the juice. That large watermelon was serious, and I'm so grateful that I found that. Shout out to you all. If you made it this far and you made the end of the video, you are a real one. I hope this was inspiring. I hope you'll watch it and share it. Much appreciation and respect to you. Salute. Lifers and loved ones, that concludes my juice making video, and it was such a pleasure. Thank you so much to everyone that I saw online uploading their videos. It inspired this one, motivated me to do the same. Special thank you to Phil Kofer. You can find him on YouTube. I'll drop his information down in the comment section as well. Let's continue to motivate and inspire one another to live better lives through our diet, fitness, the things that we take in, and just overall wellness, all right? I'm gonna stand outside, enjoy a little bit of this heat, get some of this sun, and sip on my watermelon and ginger juice. Drop it down in the comment section if you have any questions, comments, concerns. You can also send me an email at askbizlifestyle@gmail.com. That is askbizlifestyle@gmail. You can also find me on Instagram, worthyxii. That's worthy1212 on Instagram. You can find it on the About page on YouTube as well. Until next time, I believe in you. You make sure you do the same. Cheers.